This teaches us our second profound lesson. Joy is contagious when it's authentic, and dogs are masters of authentic joy. They don't calculate whether happiness is appropriate for the circumstances, don't worry about looking silly or undignified. They simply feel what they feel and express it fully, reminding us that perhaps we've forgotten something essential about being alive. As Max grows from puppy to adolescent, his energy seems boundless. These are the years of mischief and adventure, when every day brings new territories to explore and new limits to test. He discovers that garbage cans contain treasures beyond imagination, that squirrels are clearly plotting something suspicious and must be monitored vigilantly, and that the mailman is simultaneously the most threatening and most predictable enemy known to dogkind. The backyard becomes his kingdom, every corner mapped and remapped through scent and memory. He creates paths worn into the grass from his patrol routes, establishing a complex security system that only he fully understands. The spot under the oak tree, where the earth stays cool even on hot summer days, becomes his command center, the perfect vantage point for monitoring both the squirrel situation and the comings and goings of his beloved humans. During these middle years, Max becomes Sarah's constant companion and confidant. She tells him secrets she can't share with anyone else, her voice muffled by his fur as she buries her face in his neck during moments of pre-teenage angst. He listens without judgment, offers comfort without conditions, and provides a steady presence during the turbulent years when everything else in her world seems to be changing at lightning speed. The third lesson Max teaches becomes clear during these moments: the power of simply being present. He doesn't try to solve Sarah's problems or offer advice she doesn't want to hear. He simply exists beside her, solid and warm and unwaveringly loyal, proving that sometimes the greatest gift we can give someone is our complete, undivided attention. Family vacations become exercises in separation anxiety, not just for Max, but for everyone involved. The parents debate whether to find a dog sitter or search for pet-friendly accommodations, ultimately realizing that their best memories aren't made in exotic locations, but in everyday moments shared with their four-legged family member. Beach trips where Max discovers the ocean is just an impossibly large water bowl. Camping adventures where he appoints himself night watchman against the terrifying threat of raccoons, and road trips where he claims the entire back seat as his personal kingdom. The rhythm of seasons begins to mark the passage of time. Spring means longer walks and the return of tennis ball season in the backyard. Summer brings lazy afternoons spent in whatever patch of shade can be found, tongues lolling out in contented exhaustion after particularly ambitious games of fetch. Fall arrives with its carpet of leaves that must be thoroughly investigated, each one carrying news from the broader neighborhood that only Max can decipher. Winter returns again and again, each snowfall still triggering that same puppy-like excitement, though perhaps tempered now with the wisdom of experience. As Max enters his middle years, subtle changes begin to appear. The gray starts as just a few distinguished whiskers around his muzzle, giving him an air of gravitas that somehow makes his silly moments even more endearing. His jumping becomes more calculated, requiring an extra moment of consideration before launching himself onto the couch or into the car. These aren't signs of decline, but rather marks of a life being fully lived, like the patina that develops on well-loved copper or the soft edges worn into a favorite book. The fourth lesson emerges during this period. Aging isn't about losing what we once were, but about becoming more authentically ourselves. Max's personality deepens and solidifies. His preferences become more pronounced, his routines more cherished, his affections more deliberately bestowed. He's no longer the puppy who loved everyone equally. He's become a dog who chooses his moments and makes them count. Family dynamics shift as Sarah heads off to college, leaving behind a Max-shaped hole in her daily routine and a Sarah-shaped hole in his. The house feels different without her constant chatter and teenage energy. But Max adapts with characteristic grace. He redirects his protective instincts toward mom and dad, becoming more attentive to their routines and moods, as if recognizing that the pack structure has changed and his role must evolve accordingly. Video calls become a new part of life, with Sarah's face appearing on the laptop screen, her voice calling Max's name through computer speakers. His head tilts in confusion at first, trying to understand why he can hear and see his girl, but can't smell her or feel her touch. Eventually, he learns to associate the sound of the video call notification with the possibility of Sarah's presence, rushing to the computer with the same enthusiasm he once reserved for the front door. The years continue their steady march, marked now not just by seasons, but by the gradual silver that spreads across Max's coat like frost on autumn leaves. His hearing begins to fade, not all at once, but gradually, selectively. He still hears the refrigerator door opening from 3 rooms away, still detects the subtle sound of a treat bag crinkling, but the doorbell and vacuum cleaner lose their power to summon him. This selective hearing becomes a family joke, though everyone secretly appreciates that he's chosen to maintain his ability to detect the sounds that matter most to him. His vision clouds slowly, cataracts developing like morning mist over mountain peaks. The world becomes softer around the edges, less defined, but no less beloved. He navigates by scent and memory now, his internal map of the house so complete that visitors never realize he's operating on instruments rather than sight. The furniture stays in the same places, the routines remain consistent, and love continues to guide him through each day with remarkable precision. The 5th lesson becomes apparent during these golden years. Wisdom isn't about accumulating knowledge, but about learning what truly matters. Max has distilled life down to its essential elements: love, loyalty, comfort, and the simple pleasure of existing in the presence of his chosen family. Everything else is just noise. Morning walks become more leisurely affairs, less about exercise and more about ceremony. Max still insists on his daily constitutional, though the pace has slowed to accommodate creaking joints and a heart that's been beating faithfully for over a decade. These walks become meditation sessions, opportunities to savor the familiar route with renewed appreciation. Every fire hydrant tells a story. Every neighbor's yard holds memories of past adventures. Every corner turned reveals a world that remains endlessly fascinating despite its familiarity. The changing seasons take on new significance during these senior years. Spring isn't just about renewed energy, but about gratitude for another winter survived. Summer afternoons are treasured for their warmth, which soothes old bones and arthritis, stiffened joints. Fall brings not excitement for cooler weather, but appreciation for the beauty in endings and transitions. Winter snow still brings joy, though now it's tempered with the wisdom of experience and the understanding that not all winters are guaranteed. Family gatherings become more precious, each holiday and celebration carrying additional weight. Max holds court from his favorite spot on the living room carpet, accepting visits from grandchildren who don't remember him young, but love him exactly as he is. His tail still wags, though perhaps not with the frantic enthusiasm of puppyhood, but with the measured dignity of a dog who has learned that love doesn't require constant motion to be authentic. But every sunset is just a prelude to the stars. Max's story is far from over, and the most profound lessons are yet to come. Stay tuned for part 3, and don't forget to subscribe.